October 19th, 3:27 p.m. Wright & Co. Law Offices.
That was a close one, huh, Mia? Really? Too bad. I'm sorry you missed it. Maya? So, what happened? Well, I think I've got a pretty good idea who did it. Now all I need is a motive. And proof. Wow! Good going, Nick! Under the initial trial system, tomorrow's the last day we have. Initial trial? What's that? That's the new court system they introduced 2 or 3 years ago. They had so many cases in the system, they decided to speed the whole process up. So under that system, trials have to end in 3 days? Yeah, pretty much. Well, we've no time to waste. Let's talk, Maya. Where you been? How you feeling? You good? I don't get it, Maya. Why would Mr. Hammer steal the Steel Samurai costume? What? You mean Mr. Hammer was wearing the costume? Yeah. But Mr. Hammer was the victim, Nick. Why would he go through the trouble of stealing it? That's what we have to find out. I see she's gonna bring us nowhere. But we'll just air out our thoughts anyway. What happened with the director's testimony? Well, it's pretty clear that the producer and the director were both in the trailer. Huh. Which means that the killer has to be one of them. Really? Why? Because the real scene of the crime was Studio 2, where that trailer is. What?! Was Maya always this excitable? Well, have you noticed anything that might help us? I can't see what's going on when Mia's here. So no, I haven't noticed anything. Right. Maybe we should go talk to WP. WP. Powers. Right. That sounds like a good move, Maya.
October 19th, Detention Center. Visitors Room.
Mr. Wright! You did very well again today. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Could you not look like you're about to burst into tears? Wow, Nick! You must have really wowed him in there. And could you wipe that grin off your face? Hey, WP! Only 1 day left. Let's make it count. Yes. Though there's not really anything I can do to help. I'm not really sure what I can do either. Please, this is no laughing matter. Let's chat. Could you tell me more about Miss Vasquez? Oh, the producer? She's well respected in the industry. They say she's a genius. A genius? She's been at Global Studios for 5 years now. Right or wrong, nobody dares tell her different these days. Why's that? Ever since she came on board, we've had nothing but hits. Global Studios was on its knees, but she picked it up and made it shine. Oh, and... what? Nothing. Forget it. I've only heard rumors anyhow. I like me some good rumors. Give me the deets. What's the gossip? Can you tell me anything about Mr. Manila? Oh, he used to be a minor straight-to-video director, but something in his work caught Vasquez's eye. She brought the Steel Samurai idea to him. Now everyone knows the name Salmonella. I hear he's pretty much at her beck and call, though. Whenever she says jump, he asks how high and all that. I can imagine him being at her beck and call, though I can't imagine him jumping. What are you trying to say, Phoenix? I was wondering about Mr. Hammer. He was a big star back in the day, right? You are on the nose, Maya. You weren't here for most of it, but you have perfect intuition. We're on the right page. We're on the same page, rather. Me and you, same page. But then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Oh. Yes, you're right. In fact, he was my role model when I started in this business. But he just stopped taking on big roles. That's when he began appearing in little productions at Global. How could he do that? I was really looking forward to sequel to Samurai Summer. He just gave up being a star 5 years ago. Actually, now that I think about it, that was right when Miss Vasquez came to Global. 5 years ago? Interesting. I don't think there's any evidence we need to show him. So, we're gonna move on to the studio.
October 19th, Global Studios main gate.
The old windbag sure is quiet today. You know, this place is really peaceful like this. What's wrong with her? Now I'm concerned. Nick? I think her guard's down. Yeah. I bet we could even eat those donuts in the guard station if we wanted. You eat, you die. She's alive. I was wondering about Dee Vasquez, the producer. Oh, the studio bigwigs love her. So she always gets her way. She seems a bit bitter. Do you not like the producer? Look, the studio people don't want me talking about her, so sorry. Interesting. Can I ask you about Salmonella, the director? Sal? He's soft. A pushover. Does whatever Vasquez tells him to. She treats him like dirt, but I think he likes it. Huh? Why would anyone like being treated like dirt? That doesn't make any sense, does it, Nick? No, it doesn't, Maya. About Mr. Hammer. I heard about what you said today, cheeky whippersnapper. Poor old Hammer. You drag his star down from the sky and stomp on it! Calling him a criminal. A thief. I won't forget this! Uh-oh, she's really pissed this time. You listen to me, whippersnapper. My poor old Hammer would never do such a thing. Why would he steal Powers' costume so he could sneak by me? He would never stoop that low. It's impossible. Let's just let her cool down a little bit and, can we go to... Why would we go to the employee area?
October 19th, Studio 1 entrance.
Think back, Nick, to the day of the murder. Mr. Hammer put on the steel samurai costume. Then he left here to go to Studio 2? Right. But why? I wonder if someone called him. Like the director. Or the producer.
October 19th, Studio 2 entrance.
Hey, Nick! It's Miss Vasquez. Hello? Hello? Hello! Maya, you should at least try to be polite. I'm watching the clouds. How insightful. That's all she had to say, apparently. Is it, though? Can we annoy her? Let's bug her a little bit. Excuse me. Mr. Hammer came here on the day of the murder and... Shh. Huh? Perhaps you didn't hear me. I'm watching the clouds. I'm not interested in talking to you. Do something, Nick. She's really taking me off. Oh dear. Well, Maya, how about you let me ask the questions then? Just let me do my job here. Mr. Powers wasn't the killer. You don't have to cancel the Steel Samurai. I think I'm tired of the Steel Samurai. You did it. Nick! She did it! She's the killer! My fae blood speaks to me. I know it! I know it! Oh dear. Oh my god, she's so petty. Oh, finally, we get to ask the questions here. I was wondering if you could tell me about Mr. Manila. If you must talk about that man, perhaps you could talk about it in the trailer. By yourselves. Oh dear. Okay, Winnie the Pooh. Nothing to do here, so I guess let's move again? To the employee area. Let's see if we can find the assistant.
October 19th, Global Studios employee area.
I guess they're not filming today either. Maya, we're in the middle of a murder trial. I did want to see them filming. Just one time. This trial will be over and done by tomorrow. You can come see them film later. I guess. This is where you found that bottle of sleeping pills, right? Uh-huh. I wonder if there are any other clues lying around. Yeah! No, no, no! No touching! Why do you yell like that? Oh, sorry, pal. Didn't mean to frighten you. Didn't mean? I almost had a heart attack! I guess I can be a little dramatic at times. Dramatique? I suppose it's the actor in me. Dramatique indeed. Anyway, I'm here to examine the plate on that table. Wait, are you looking for sleeping pills? Yeah, pal. Traces thereof. Well, hold on there, little buddy. Let's talk. So, you're looking for traces of the sleeping pills. How? For a thorough examination, I gotta take the plate back to the precinct. Now, I don't think it's with the steak. I think it's in that drink. How would you conceal pills on a steak? What are you gonna do? Crush it up and sprinkle it in the gravy? The assistant is the one who prepared the meal. So actually, it could be assistant. But I have the capabilities to make a cursory examination right here. Our science guy gave me some testing solution. This reacts to these sleeping pills, see? If there are traces, it'll change color. Wow! Neat! Well, Detective Gumshoe, what are you waiting for? Now. Everything in due time, pal. Well, the testing solution on the plate changed color, alright. So the food on this plate had been laced with sleeping pills. Looks like it. It's totally the assistant!
Steak plate added to the court record.
Found in the employee area. On it are traces of sleeping pills and a large bone. How goes your investigation? To tell the truth, it's a real mess, pal. Some people think we should pursue the case we already have against Powers. And some people think we should switch suspects. What do you think, Detective Gumshoe? Well, pal, I hate to admit it, but I'm not sure I buy the case against Mr. Powers anymore. I feel kind of bad for Mr. Edgeworth, though. Don't feel bad! He's scummy, but he's the right kind of scummy to be Phoenix's boyfriend. How is Edgeworth doing anyway? How is Edgeworth doing anyway? Mr. Edgeworth is out of control! He was in the waiting room and he crushed this paper cup with hot coffee in it. Whoa. Talk about burns, pal. Wow, the fury of Edgeworth. Yeah, crushing paper cups. Cups? Bottles? Say, whatever happened with that empty bottle? Oh, the bottle of sleeping pills? Well, I got some good news for you on that. They found the victim, Jack Hammer's, prints on the bottle. So that means... Yep. Sounds like the one who put Powers to sleep was none other than the victim. So I was right.
Sleeping pill bottle added to the court record.
Found on a table in the employee area. Bears Jack Hammer's fingerprints. Alright, well, let's go ahead and examine on our own, shall we? The remains of the employee's lunch are scattered around. Everyone was probably too shocked to clean up. There's a T-bone on one of the plates, minus the steak. Okay, well, we're not very good at investigating, apparently. That grate's still lying here. Ah, they've seen wisdom at last. They know if they fixed it, I'd just kick it off again. That poor assistant. Speaking of, where is she? Here she is! Penny! You suspicious little gal. Oh! Hello. What are you doing in here? Oh, I was just cleaning up the dressing room. I guess WP won't be using it anymore, so... What? Why? But WP's innocent! Yes, and I'm really grateful for all you've done. But this week is the last episode of the Steel Samurai. What? No! I was wondering if I could ask you about Mr. Hammer. Yes? On the day of the murder, he went to Studio 2. Huh? I thought he went to Studio 1. He stole the Steel Samurai costume too! What? Why would Mr. Hammer do something like that? Oh... I guess the rumor must be true then. The rumor? Yeah. Miss Vasquez, that producer, had some kind of hold on Hammer. She had some dirt on him. He'd do anything she said, apparently. some dirt. What dirt? Dirt. You know, bad stuff. I know what dirt means. About 5 years ago, they were filming a movie starring Mr. Hammer. They were using the new studio, Studio 2. Some sort of accident happened during filming. After that, they never used Studio 2 again. They left the film set the way it was too. The film set? Was that trailer part of the film set then? Ooh, maybe now we can investigate that broken fence near the flower garden. What do you mean, the last Steel Samurai? I know it's a shock, but nothing can be done to save it now. Whoever really did kill Mr. Hammer also signed the Steel Samurai's death warrant. No. No! Also, I hear that Global Studios is going to change its programming. They're not gonna make kids shows anymore. What? Why? I don't know. It's sad, but that's what Global Studios decided. She doesn't seem that fazed. You could, like, brush it off with, like, oh, she's just an assistant. She'll go wherever she needs to. A job's a job, right? But still, she's a little too cool, calm, and collected here. Why are they gonna make kids... Wait, why aren't they gonna make kid shows anymore? The studio bigwigs don't want the Steel Samurai around anymore. They want to forget all this ever happened. I mean... This isn't unheard of, okay? They want it quiet, you understand? How can they just do that? What about all the kids who love the Steel Samurai? It's okay. I'm sure the kids will be fine. They'll find a new hero to follow. No! That can't be true. If the program just ends, they'll be heartbroken, I'm sure. Nick? Say something! Yeah. I think evidence rather than words is called for here. Here, take a look at this. And this is? A fan collected all of these photographs. The kids love the Steel Samurai. The show shouldn't be cancelled just so some adults can save face. I would think you would understand that better than anyone. You're right. Okay. But what can I do? Confess? Well, for starters, you can tell me something. Tell me what it is that Global Studios is so intent on hiding. Tell me about this accident 5 years ago. Okay. Could you tell us what happened 5 years ago? Well, I can tell you what I've heard. Apparently, 5 years ago, someone died, and it was Hammer's fault. Someone died? And it was covered up? It was an accident, of course. Anyway, the producer, Miss Vasquez, managed to hush it up. And that's the dirt she had on Mr. Hammer? And that's why Mr. Hammer would do anything Miss Vasquez asked him to do. But it was an accident, right? Why didn't they just make it public? Well, you know Mr. Hammer was a big star back then, right? They were afraid about what would happen to his career if word got out. I see. You know who knows more about this? Miss Oldbag. she was here at the studios back then, you know. Thanks. We'll try asking her. If she'll talk. I'm not done with you, Penny. At least for now. What? You're still slinking around? If you like the place so much, why don't you take over for me? The old windbag doesn't look so good. Everybody's doing their darndest to forget Hammer. Who do they think made Global Studios what it is today? Hammer! It's all due to Hammer. She's starting to froth at the mouth, Nick. Maybe we should keep a safe distance. I wanted to ask you about 5 years ago. Who told? Who did you hear that from? Huh? Nichols. Nichols? Nichols, Nick. Penny Nichols. That assistant we talked to. Oh, right. Anyway, we heard about the accident. It was during filming with Jack Hammer. He killed a man, didn't he? Whippersnappers. Dredging up dirt on someone's past like that, and the recently departed no less! I suppose you think this is fun. No, I'm just doing my job to protect Mr. Powers. And you claim that Mr. Hammer stole Powers' costume? You expect me to believe that rubbish? Or do you have some kind of proof? Proof that Hammer stole Powers' costume? Well, Maya did say never to say never. I'm sorry, Miss Oldbag, but I do have proof. I can prove that Mr. Hammer stole Mr. Powers' costume. With his fingerprints. Here's my proof. What? What's a little empty bottle supposed to prove? It's a bottle of sleeping pills. With Mr. Hammer's fingerprints on it. What does that prove? I'm sure old Hammer had some sleepless nights. Where's your proof that he used those pills on Powers? Mr. Powers ate a T-bone steak for lunch, right? Well, yes. So, this is the plate that he used to eat that steak. There are traces of sleeping pill powder on the plate. I see. Poor Hammer. You did wrong, Hammer. Rest your soul. Miss Oldbag? Okay. You win. I'll talk. I'm tired, see? Tired of holding it all in. Miss Oldbag. You're right. 5 years ago, there was an accident. A fatal accident. What's worse, a paparazzi took a photo of it. That photo, well, it caused quite a stir. And guess who made it all better? Vasquez. She has ties to the Mafia. She silenced that paparazzi. That was the beginning. After that, she became a force to be reckoned with here at the studio. I see. But you have to understand. Poor old Hammer never meant any harm to anyone. Miss Oldbag. Hold on a minute. Poor Miss Oldbag. Here. Take this. A photograph? Wait a second. This is the picture. Is this the trailer in Studio 2? Hammer was supposed to fight with a bad guy on the top of those stairs there. He pushed the other actor, and the man fell onto the flower box fence. Ugh. But how did you get this? It was a long time ago. I don't feel much like talking about it. I understand.
5-year-old photo added to the court record.
Shows an accident involving Jack Hammer. Now, is it just me, or does that person on the left of the photo look like Miss Dee-va? Does that not look like Dee Vasquez? Like, just put the shawl back over her head and, like, right? Anyway. Let's go ahead and move and see what Miss Vasquez has to say about this. She's not even looking. Where? What? Where did you get that? Well... Old bag. Old? She means the security lady, Miss Oldbag, Nick. Right. Anyway, Miss Vasquez, you hid this incident from the press, didn't you? And you used it to control Mr. Hammer. The wind. Huh? It's gotten stronger, don't you think? The wind? Your conversation interests me. Let's talk about it more. Inside the trailer. Nick, she went inside the trailer. Okay, wait, but before we go in, can we now examine this? No. Let's move inside then, where she can potentially kill us. You came. Well then, what was it you were talking about? Why is she so eager to talk all of a sudden? Miss Vasquez, you were using that accident. You were blackmailing Mr. Wait, blackmailing? You were blackmailing Mr. Hammer so you could control him, weren't you? That's why he was doing kid shows for petty change. So, I'm a blackmailer now? Well, that's what it was, wasn't it? I mean, sure, it was an accident, but you used it to drag Mr. Hammer down from his rightful place as a star. Oh? I haven't pulled anyone down from anywhere. Mr. Hammer's career went sour of its own accord. But you were the cause! You pressured him! And to think it was just an accident. Excuse me. What is this all about? You keep saying accident. Accident. How are you so sure? What do you mean? Must I spell everything out for you? Think. What would it be if it wasn't an accident? No. No way. You mean Mr. Hammer did it on purpose? That is what I mean. Where's your proof? Can you prove it? Just think. Would he have let me run his life for 5 years over a mere accident? And I ran him hard, believe you me. But the security lady said it was an accident. Oh, well, she was a big fan of Hammer's, you see. She jumped on the reporter who brought that photo into the studio. She wrenched it out of his hands, she did. Gave him a few bruises, too. So that's why she had the photo. She's an old fool. Of course, all the reporter would need is the negatives. He could have made a copy, but he didn't. The only copy of that photo is the one you hold. Give it to me. Now. What? Boys? I knew it! This is where we end the game! This is where we end our lives! Who are they? Professionals. They're good at erasing various things. What do you think? Would you like to be erased? What? The trial ends tomorrow. How unfortunate. It's a shame you'll have to miss it.
Tell me why.
Why do you want this photograph so badly? This is Mr. Hammer's dirt, no? Why should Dee Vasquez care about it at all? Because it's her! She's there! I'm sure you'll have plenty of time to think about that where you're going. So long, friends. Boys, erase away. No! Hold it right there! The voice crack. I'm so sorry, Gumshoe. I heard everything, pal. Dee Vasquez, you're coming down to the precinct with me. Now! Not bad. Very well. It appears this contest will be decided tomorrow then. In court. I'll be looking forward to it. Hey! You okay, pal? You did good, Gumshoe. You did good. I wanna pat him on the head like a little doggy. Sorry I was a little late with my entrance. I don't get many chances to practice that sort of thing. Oh no, you did great, Gumshoe. Detective Gumshoe. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you! I was really scared. Huh? Don't mention it, pal. Just doing my job. Detective Gumshoe? Sorry, it's just... I've wanted to say that line ever since I became a detective. Oh my god! Okay. I've got one more job to do today. I'm sure we'll run into each other again soon. Well, Nick, it looks like we're getting close to the bottom of this. And who's at the bottom? Dee Vasquez. Still think you guys are overlooking a very suspicious person.
October 20th, 10 a.m. District Court. Courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was in fact Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. Maybe he's also being threatened by the Mafia. Hello? You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Oh, I didn't think she would come on stand this early. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. Why aren't you letting her introduce herself, Edgeworth? Kinda sus here. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez. I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2. As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must pontificate, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Nick, I know she did it. Make her pay. Right. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. Witness testimony, the day of the murder. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 o'clock sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Wait, are we just gonna gloss over the fact that she had Sal take her to the rehearsal? We found Hammer's body later, when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. Yes, Judge, yes! You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? The van. Oh, okay. There's a van at Studio 2. She's giving, like...
Sometimes words you need use, but need for talk.
But save time. More success.
Does it save time though? Because we've been here for about an hour.
I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk. What with that monkey's head toppling over.
Van added to the court record.
Manila used this van to drive Vasquez to Studio 1 after the meeting in the trailer. So she admits that the monkey head was toppled over, but then how did the van get past it? I see. Very well. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Cross-examination. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal? No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have had time to eat a T-bone steak. If I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat that steak, well, Nick, find anything? Kind of wish she'd said a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said. Somewhere. Huh! As I thought. You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you didn't! What's this now, Mr. Wright? Look at this. It's a plate? This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you, it was a T-bone steak. Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manila ate at a table outside the trailer. Yet, there were no bones left on the plates. The plates were bare! Ugh. Miss Vasquez? Tell me, how can a person eat a T-bone steak and not leave the bone? I think I know how. You didn't! You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during her break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Wait, she killed Jackhammer. I mean, Nick! She did it! She's the killer! My fae blood speaks to me. I know it! I know it! But then again, Miss D. Vasquez does seem to have dirt on everyone. So maybe she told Penny to spike his steak. I don't know. Or maybe Penny's innocent in all this and I'm catching the red herring hard. Order! Are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. Maybe Hammer really did spike it. He crushed it in his little palms. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Wright? Let him claim what he wants. You say I did it? Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh, yes. The samurai spear. Yes. I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I think you could. You're also like a mafioso. We don't know the true power that you're hiding under that facade. It's not impossible. Well, maybe it's not impossible, but... Silence. I'm speaking. The victim was stabbed through the chest from the front, yes? I believe this would indicate that the victim was aware of the killer's presence. Now, the Steel Samurai costume is quite light and mobile. Compared to the victim, I'm weaker and slower. I couldn't possibly win such a fight. Not to mention, there's proof I didn't have the spear. The photograph of the steel samurai shows that the victim himself was holding it. Or do you mean to suggest that I could have wrested it away from him? Yeah. Take that, Wright. If you still think she did it, show us proof. Hey, Nick. Look at the data we have on the samurai spear in the court record. Isn't there something in there that gets to you? Something odd about the samurai spear? Wait. Something the matter, right? Sorry, Your Honor. I'd like to take back my previous claim. Very well. I won't hold you to your claim. But I'm afraid I'll have to penalize you. Ugh. What's this? You're taking back your claim? Let's backtrack for a moment. I want to consider whether the witness could have used the samurai spear or not. However, that has no bearing on this case. Huh. Meaning, the samurai spear was not the murder weapon. What? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear wasn't used as the murder weapon because it was broken. I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. It also wasn't covered in blood, if you remember correctly. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through? But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now, tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order! Order! Mr. Wright, what are you driving at? Think about what you're... Silence! I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell, what was? How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon was used to kill Mr. Hammer? What if it was the flower garden all over again? Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. Oh, but I don't... I don't have it. Oh, here. Wait, what if we use the picture? Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer, standing at the top of the stairs. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. Oh, please, not again. I thought we were finishing today. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret at the studios. What does this have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth, you still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago has happened again! Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 p.m. on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside the Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die? 5 years ago? Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that what I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say, for the sake of argument, that Mr. Hammer died at the trailer, as you say. Yet, the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1? And returned to the trailer? All in the space of a 15-minute break. How could I have disposed of the body? Oh, easy! The van! Mr. Salmonella! The break in the meeting at the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? I bet she could move it. Do we want to say I bet she could move it or she had another way? Because those both sound very similar to me. But I'm gonna say she had another way because she used salmonella and maybe some other staff to help with the body and changing. What if she had another way to carry the body? Other than with her own hands. For instance, she also has the mafiosos, right? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright, please show us how she carried the body. And I bet this guy, Mr. Monkeyhead, was broken because of the van. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1. And you used the studio van to do it. Recall in your testimony. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. There was a van there, right? I had Sal drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then, before everyone else got there, you put the body into the magistrate costume. Hold on, Wright. Don't forget, It was Salmonella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course he was! He was at our beck and call! Of course Salmonella has to be a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the Steel Samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? They're not having it. So what happens next? Don't me. Don't you have anything else to say? What would you like me to say? Uh-huh. I lost? Something like that, didn't she? I just said that. Wait, so you mean Dee Vasquez? So it was you? You killed Jack Hammer! Who can say? Huh? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits. And the result of that battle? You proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right. But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? Order! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Of course, it's as the witness says. How did he win his cases? Was it really Mr. Red, White of Blue Corps helping him win his cases? Because, man... Certainly, it does seem very likely she did it. But, there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you've no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Do we have her testify again? I feel like she would just say the same thing. I don't know. Do we have her testify again? Damn. To come so far, only to fail. But we can't let her go. As it seems, there are no further questions. I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Edgeworth? Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. Oh, Edgeworth. Oh boy. You tried. I see. Oh! Okay! Roll it back! Your Honor, 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 I request that the witness testify again. Wait, Edgeworth, I think you're playing for the wrong team here. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth. I, too, see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want her to testify about? Well, yes, come on, Phoenix. Pick up where you left off. Object! Indeed. Verily, I say. Ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Huh. Nick, why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But... wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that... Edgeworth. Witness testimony. After finding the body. I was with Sal and Oldbag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too. Only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police. Then Powers showed up. The security lady, Oldbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see no issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick. We're close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. Okay. Cross-examination. The script and your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio 1 for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder, after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please, continue. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness's last statement. Yeah, wasn't the murder after the rehearsal? Uh-huh. Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have had to know about the murder before going to Studio 1. Or that. Order! Order! Mr. Edgeworth. What you've just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however. regardless of how the court sees my role here. He just wants to get rid of her because he doesn't like anyone stepping on his toes. He's the dominant here. Now, Miss Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. Huh. So, the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense. What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well. The witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. How did you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director, huh? You have to find something to peg this on her. Or everything we've done till now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. You knew that Hammer was injured? Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. Oh, right, she said Hammer! Oh my god, there were so many things going on, I didn't even realize. What? Mr. Wright, explain yourself. Yes, Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo. But that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. But pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now, why did you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manella was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez. Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manella. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah. And when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in the Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused. That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning. Order! Order! I will have order! Witness. Can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, you would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? If there's a reason, it's unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Okay. I have proof, and I'll show it to you. I present to the court evidence as to Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder. This is my proof. This is the photo from before? This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With Dee Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day, 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed down on him, no doubt. However, you, Dee Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day, and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if it was Mr. Hammer who had killed Dee Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Miss Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have had no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. I mean, we can't say she had no motive. Let's reveal evidence, shall we? Okay. Allow me to present to the court evidence proving Miss Vasquez's motive. This is my proof. And this tells us nothing. Mr. Wright, I'll ask you again. Please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for murder. I don't know. I think I have to say she has no motive. I'm gonna have to go with it. She had no motive. She had no motive, Your Honor. She just wanted to get rid of him. She said herself she doesn't get rid of useful men, but maybe he wasn't useful anymore. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? Your Honor? Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the steel samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then, Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? to kill Dee Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years, and to frame Will Powers for the murder of Dee Vasquez and reclaim his stardom. Oh, she angry. So, you did do it, didn't you? Yes. I am guilty. It was me.
But it was self-defense!
Someone! Call an ambulance! There's blood everywhere. We're too late.
Miss Vasquez!
What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel! Manuel! Miss Vasquez, please, try to remain calm. Ooh, what if they were lovers? No. No, how could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No! Manuel! Manuel! Don't touch him, Miss Vasquez. No! I'm not doing it in her voice, but I don't even know who's reading, like who's saying what. So if it's a little confused, I'm so sorry. Please, please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose. Again. So, Penny really was a red herring. We were going down hard on her for no reason. Mr. Edgeworth? Where's Dee Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor? It appears you've brought about yet another miracle. Thank you, Your Honor. I mean, we did it with the help of Edgeworth, so like, at least give him some props, Phoenix. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so is only natural, not a miracle. Yes. Yes, you're right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned.
October 20th, 1:12 p.m. District Court. Defendant Lobby number 3.
I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for murder, it makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright.
Tell me why.
Why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? He was jealous. Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... I want to show the scrapbook. It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai? Mr. Hammer was a big star once. But he was reduced to acting in a kids' show. And as a villain to boot. The kids love the Steel Samurai. And so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him anytime. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP! Oh. Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... it's gonna be cancelled. Huh? Is something wrong? No! Of course not. Nick! Edgeworth! Say something, right? You gonna stare at me all day? A picture'll last longer. I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? Are you hitting on me? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No. I really wanted to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. After all these years? Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I'm saddled with unnecessary feelings. What? Unnecessary feelings? Are you in love with him? Yes. Unease and uncertainty. Are you in love with him? Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Are you in love with him? Mr. Wright? Was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if? They're rivals. Rivals, right, Nick? For now, we are. I guess. Are you in... Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick, tell me. What's the deal with you and Edgeworth? They're in love with each other! And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. They went back to making kids shows again. Oh, the Pink Princess! Nick! This is it! The new show starts today! You're gonna watch it with me, right? I mean, it is based on Maya. I'll admit, I was kind of surprised. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, fine. I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? Wait, huh? He's playing the Pink Princess? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real will powers. Not as the Pink Princess, anyway.